Hi everyone, Cindy here again. I'm going to be making a soap cake today, but I'm going to be doing it in a series of steps because of how I want it done. It will have to be done over a couple of days. So this video is going to be broken up quite a bit. And the inspiration behind my decision to make the cake are these absolutely adorable boxes that my friend brought over for me a couple of weeks ago, just out of the blue, and I thought, wow, they're really neat. And the lid just pops off, and I thought, yeah, I definitely have to make a cake for these. Soap cakes aren't my specialty. What I'm most known for are my pies, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I think I've only ever made one other cake, and it was a pretty bland standard cake. The way I wanted to do it was to have a smaller circle scented with the birthday cake fragrance. I know that it discolors, and that's fine. I'm going to let it discolor because it's cake, so it works for me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice it so I have layers, and then I'm going to do the icing, and it'll be the size of the outer rim of the silicone. But all this is just a paper form that I've taped together in there, and there's freezer paper, and when the soap gets in there it'll just kind of push that in, but there's a stiff cardboard form to just try to give me the shape of a circle. It's not going to be perfect, I know that. That's fine. It's going to be inside, so I don't care, as long as it's close to what the dimensions that I want. And I just want to make sure that it does not end up being the size of the outer lip of the silicone. So this is just the oils. Whoops. And I've got cream in here. My sodium lactate's in here. I prefer to have it in with my oils. It doesn't seem to do anything for me when I put it in my lye. What else is in here? There's cream, sodium lactate, there's coconut milk, and I have some sugar in here. I'm just going to give this a quick buzz. Just going to grab my strainer. And I did end up getting a smaller strainer, but do you think I can find it now? No. I think I'm getting a little better with the amount of silk going in my lye. I don't seem to have such a blob anymore at the end. So I think I'm kind of getting better at it anyway. More of it's dissolving, less not dissolving. So that's good. This is the fragrance. Oh, you know what I almost forgot? I almost forgot my super fat. And this is just a little bit of olive oil. Or, not olive. Can't think today. Almond oil. That's all that is. Just almond oil. And this is the fragrance. Might as well mix them in together. I'm not expecting anything funny out of this fragrance. Everybody says it's pretty good. And most of the reviews on the site where I bought these tend to be pretty bang on. Really close anyway. Nothing drastic. Just gonna mix this in by hand a little bit. It's loosening up even more. That's excellent. Oh, I really like the smell of this. It smells kind of funny out of the when you first open the bottle. It almost smells medicine-y. But if you leave the lid off and you just kind of waft it, you can pick up hints of vanilla. You can almost smell the chocolate. Oh, it does smell nice. The longer it's out, the more it smells like cake. Okay. This should push the sides out. Or up, I should say. It's going. And I didn't want this filled to the top because of how I want this done. So where it's sitting looks pretty good because I only wanted it about 1.5 inches high. And I don't care. Like, I know this is going to be, it's not a perfect circle, but I just needed something that was close. Would give me, because it's going to be hidden in the cake, so if it's a little oblong or not 100% exactly a circle, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm just so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray this with alcohol. I'm going to cover it up and let it set overnight, and I'll bring you back tomorrow when we do the next part of the cake. So I've got the oils cooled, and I'm just going to add my creams, my cream, my coconut milk, my sugars into the bucket. I'm just going to mix that together before I add the lye solution. Get all this out of here. There we go. And I'm just going to give this a quick mix. Okay, that should be good. Now, if you remember yesterday, when I added the lye, it got thick really quick, but it smoothed itself out. And I found my little strainer. So happy about that. Oh, it's the little things in life that make me happy. It's a lot easier to handle than that great big one. Oh yeah, it's a lot easier to handle. And I've still got a wee blob, but that's okay. Just gotta give this a quick mix. Okay, so it's fairly smooth. Just gonna add my almond oil. Oops. Why, every time I get in here I get the sniffles. And then some titanium. And let's see how that goes. More to that because I definitely want it whiter. Even an off-white would work, I guess. Give it an interesting creamy colored background. But I would really like to get white. Still on the tan side. Just not liking that too much. I think that's about all I'm going to put in there. Now there's way too much of this batter for this cake. But I have to make a few embeds for my contest cake, my contest soap. It's not a cake. I don't know why I said that. But I'm going to use the rest of this batter, the embeds for that. I've started doing cold process embeds, and I've been getting further and further away from the melt and pour. I just, yeah, it's easy and everything like that, but when you're in Canada, you have to put every single ingredient on your label, and that includes melt and pour ingredients, and it looks absolutely atrocious when you put those ingredients on the labels, because there's actually so many things in there, and it looks like it's just totally full of chemicals and everything else. It just looks awful. So I'm trying to steer clear of that and just make my embeds out of the soap recipe that I am making the soap from, if that makes any sense. Because I'm going to use the same recipe for the contest soap that I'm going to make. Okay. Thought I seen something. I guess it's just air bubbles. Just air bubbles. Okay. So, this is the cake pan. And with this one, I actually want the bottom of the cake pan to be the top of my cake. As you can see, I don't know if you caught that, there's like a little rigid design on the bottom, like little, just like little squares. And I think it would make a really nice patterned top on this cake. Sorry about all that. And excuse my arms. Now, I told you I can't cut straight for my life. So, of course, these came out really uneven. But they're nice and hard. And this is the way they'd end up looking anyway if I was baking at home. So, what I'm just going to do is plop that in there. Kind of went a little too hard, but don't think it's all the way on the bottom. It's fine. I don't want it to be touching the bottom. Don't think it is. Oops. Of course it's going to stick. Shoot. Let's try that again and just be a little gentler with it. Okay. Oops. Alright. No, that's not touching. Let me just get a towel. That's kind of why I wanted it somewhat thick when I poured it in there. I'm just going to across the sides. Sorry if the bucket's in the way. There we go. Okay. And I wanted a layer in between. Nice and smooth. Okay, I'll just grab that other slice. And just get that on there. It's okay if it's the bottom. I just want to make sure. I don't care if it gets covered, because this is, like I said, going to be the bottom of the cake, so it doesn't matter if it's visible or not. Just fill up the sides. I hope it does go whiter than this, but I'll live if it doesn't. I want it fairly flat, so I don't have to do a lot of trimming to make it flat when I pull it out of this mold. Now, if I missed any air bubbles, this table is very lopsided. If I missed any and there's air bubbles on the outside, oops, there's one there. I'm going to be decorating this tomorrow with some piping and whatnot, and I can just fix that as we go. Okay, so that's this part, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3. Bye. So I've unmolded the cake, and I had planned on putting the icing and the decorations on yesterday, because that's when I unmolded it, but things happened and I never got a chance, so I'm going to attempt to put them on today. Hopefully they'll stick. I'm going to try to score it a little bit to see if it'll stick a little bit better, since it has been resting for over 24 hours. But I don't know if you can see, but on the top, oops, I have I marked lines and across the sides so that I know where the slices are going to be. And I've been watching a lot of cake decorating shows the last few days since I made this cake, because like I said, I told you guys before, I don't do soap cakes. It's just not my specialty, not what I normally do. But what they had suggested, so you could get pretty much bang on the size of the slices that you want, is to make a board. And I don't know if you can see that. I made this one, and it's a perfect square. And then I just measured off all my points. I'm only going to have 8. This is a 12 by 12. And I marked all my points off in pencil. And then I covered it with parchment paper so I can see through it, and then the pencil won't get on the soap. And I thought it worked extremely well, because when you put the cake on top, you just measure on either side all the way around to make sure you have the same distance, and then you know pretty much bang on for center. And then you just use your guides, and I went and took a straight edge and went up and down the sides to get my straight lines, and then from the top I just connected the lines that I made up the sides. So that was pretty simple, and I think the pattern came out really well on the top of the cake. It's just like a little indents, but I like it. It's a little bit of a pattern. And I had a feeling, because I was running out of titanium dioxide the other day when I made this, that it wasn't going to be white, and it's not. It's like a tan. So I have to try to make the icing as close to the same color as I can, because I think if it's a really, really white icing on a tan cake, it's going to look funny. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go and get my icing ready. I'm not going to show you me mixing it up. You've already seen me do that twice. I don't need to do it a third time. It's the same recipe. And I will bring you back as soon as the piping is ready to go and we are set to do the decorating. Icing is ready. Actually got hot really quick. So I'm hoping it doesn't get too hard. And let's see what I think it might be a little bit too stiff. And what I'm trying to do is just embellish each piece. Instead of the whole entire cake. This would be a lot easier if it wasn't quite as thick. Okay, so what I've done is the other day when I was making the cake, I tried to pipe some half roses, and this is what they look like. Now they're not perfect, obviously. It was my first time trying, but I just put some glitter on there. And all I want to do is the blob there. And I want to set them on each piece of cake. Now, I'm just trying to make the stem. So that's the cake. Hope that's a better angle. And just trying to get some of this glitter. I need to invest in some little paint brushes so I can paint on the glitter in certain areas, because I have different colored glitters and they look nice if you put the iridescent on top of them, but if you just put them alone, not quite the same. Okay, so my phone kept shutting off, but this is what we've got now. I took this brush and I just dipped it inside the glitter and I just flicked it on the edges, and then I did the same with a little bit more green. So there's little flecks of green. You probably can't see it on the camera, but there's little flecks of green glitter on the sides, just because they're it was so plain, because I wasn't able to put the other flower that I had planned on putting in there because it just wasn't high enough. But that's the cake, and then I'm gonna have to let it set up and cut it tomorrow, and I'll bring you back so you can see what the final product looks like. Thanks for watching. Hi everyone, this is the soap cake all cut up now. I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. Excuse my hands, they're a little bit shaky. I'm just holding my phone here to take these pictures. And this is how the centers, the layers came out. Very, very happy. And all the piping stuck really good. You can still see the little design there on the top from the bottom of the mold that I used. Just get this down here a little bit. Yes, very, very happy with these. There's the bottom. I just left that the way it was. I didn't see a point of making it pretty because it's the bottom. But that's the cake. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more, but it did turn out very well considering I don't do cakes. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.